choose a life where you have all the beauty, wealth, health, and no friends, or average of everything and good friends around you? I don't know anyone that would choose to live without friends, that would choose to be alone. So the funny thing is, he did divide friendship in 3 categories. He's not going to look at me. He's going to divide friendship in 3 categories. That would be useful friends, which means like coworkers, people that you study with, that you basically use each other. And then after the work is done or everything's done, you go home and you don't really talk. You have your pleasurable friends that are the people that you hang out. You go for drinks, you go for trips, for the good time. The good time, they're there for you, but sometimes when the bad time comes, they're not there. And you have your virtual friend, which is the one that you get attached because of your character, your ideas, your values. Those are the people that you get together. When I came to U.S., I went to a class, a debate class. Don't know what I was doing there. My English was not that good. And we had to read this book. And I laughed when I saw it again because I didn't even remember I talked about it. And I have to defend the useful friends. And I said, well, we all use each other. Come on. If you don't do any good to me, if I don't feel good around you, I'm not going to be your friend. So in a sense, I'm using the part of feeling good. And I truly believe that friendship starts that way. But I had an experience not too long ago of a friend of mine that we had a fight. And sometimes I always think of how I'm friends with her because she's so rational, I'm so emotional. She is decisive and organized with things that I don't really care. But deep inside, I realized that we have good values. Our values are really similar on loyalty, on honesty, and we care a lot about those things. So when we had a fight, she texted me and said, we are in 2 different moments in our lives. And she said, well, I don't know, due to your moment in your life, if you still want to be friends with me or maybe you should grow apart. And in my mind, I was like, you're crazy. Not because of a fight, I'm going to, throw a friendship away. But at that moment, I saw that she respects me and she respects my moment and she respects that sometimes we're not going to be good for each other for the rest of our lives, but we're going to be good for each other while we could be good for each other. And that makes our friendship grow even more because we had the freedom to choose to stay or not. And the fact that we chose to stay, we decide, we're going to make this work. And definitely today, she's been one of my closest friends in the sense of we are there for each other, even though she does not live nearby. We are there for each other. So I know I can get my phone and call her. Thank God. Well, Aristotle didn't plan that part. So he said that friendship will grow apart due to the lack of presence. But now we have the presence through social media or phones. But it also makes us grow apart because now we just look at phones, not at people. Go one more. So he said, for as the proverb has it, people cannot have got to know each other before they savor all that salt together. So he basically say, you guys need to spend good and bad times to really know if you can be good to each other. Indeed, can they have to accept each other to be friends before each party is seen to be lovable and is trusted by one another. Those who are quickly behaving like friends towards each other wish to be friends, but they are not friends. What do you guys think? Can we be friends quickly? Or is something that takes time?
Takes time. You can.
I think you can start a friendship, but you're not really friends until you get to know that person.
But you feel something.
Yeah, he has a familiarity. And I'm going to bring that now, because we have all this spiritual learning that we do, or energy, but he also has a brain thing that make us connect to each other. And I thought that was really nice. Next one. So knowing that you have different kinds of friendship, and don't get me wrong, he also said that to be a good friend, you need to behave ethically. But some people get together and they're friends due to their other behavior. So that can,
You say this means they're not really.
Well,
They're
yeah.
friends, but they're not really friends because you don't know their.
Yeah, they're friends, but not good friends. So it is this is moral, but it has a lot of discussions about this, because what if your best friend call and say, "Hey, come help me, I killed someone." What are you gonna do? You're gonna call the cops, or are you gonna help me to hide the body? So you know, it is a debate there of what is right or what is wrong, or what is the line we can cross, what is the line you would not cross, and that's based on your values. And that's why sometimes we get together with people and sometimes we get apart of people, because we see that our values do not match. So friendship can influence mental state, physical health, and spiritual awareness. And I did not see that in English. I found a translation to it, but I never heard Americans saying. You catch me if I'm wrong, but I saw Hispanic people saying, but never American told me that, and we hear that a lot in Portuguese. Tell me who you walk with, and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah.
You do? You there? Here? Okay.
Tell me who you hang around with, and I tell you who you are.
Okay. So I was like, I hated to hear that. Because I was like, I had so many different kind of friends, so who am I? I was like, I was a social butterfly. Today, I would say I was a bad friend for a long time. Because, yes, I couldn't keep focused in one person. I was always with you, thinking the next time I have to be with her, that I have to hang out with her. And I made schedule things one behind each other, and sometimes I was not fully there. My body was there with you, but my mind was not. So I don't know if I was there actually to hear people, or if I was really with them when they need me. And that's the truth. Today I can admit I use people, and not in a good way. I might not have the conscience of what I was doing, but I did. And so since I had too many friends, I was like, who am I? But he also tells me who I am. I was an inconstant person. I was a person that could not sit still. I was a person that could not focus. I was a person who got bored at people. That's why I had too many groups of friends. I couldn't stand having just the best friend all the time talking about the same thing. Oh, that was driving me crazy. So I had to have friends to talk about politics, friends to talk about parties, friends to talk about religion. Whatever I had to talk, I had to have different group of friends. But that tells something about me, even though I didn't want to, because some of my friends were not in their best behavior as the eye of society. So, but it's true. You can get a look at yourself and see what your relationships are doing to you. So when you look at your body, when you look at your mental state, when you look at your spiritual awareness, what is your friendship doing to you? Because we get to influence people. People that hang out with your friends influence you a little bit. So it's a big connection. So how are you doing on this? That's something we have to stop and think about it. Okay. This is going to be hard. So I made a list of healthy friendship and unhealthy friendship. What are the behaviors? So a healthy friendship, it's not one-sided. Both people benefit from knowing each other, while the unhappy or unhealthy friendship, one person always seems to give a lot more than the other. And not just to the person that is taking, but to the person that is always giving. Watch yourself, because give too much is also a problem. It has to be a healthy exchange. Of course, not everybody's going to be not always going to be 50-50. Sometimes it's going to be 70-30, or sometimes it's going to be the opposite, 30-70. And you have to adjust, one picking the other up, one helping the other. So that's something that both can benefit from it. The healthy relationship is based on mutual respect, while the unhealthy people ridicule one another, gossip, spread rumors, and act mean to one another. So you have to understand what jokes can be said. I was in this group of people. They're nice. They're funny. But I thought they're always overstep a little bit on the jokes. I was like, you don't really need to tell that. When it's just us and we all know each other, it's one thing to make a joke. But when it's people that you're meeting for the first time, you don't do those kind of jokes in front of them. So at that point, I was like, maybe that's not for me. Nothing against them. It's their life, it's their behavior, but it's not for me. So I gave a step back. And of course, with the jokes, always were rumors like, did you hear what these people did? Do you agree with this? And don't get me wrong, I love talking about my stuff. I gossip a lot about myself and the stupid things I already did or I was about to do, and I laugh about it, and I learn with that. Sometimes, yes, you talk about other people, but I'm trying my best today, if I'm going to talk about someone, or is to that person, or is to find a solution to a problem that we might have. And truth being told, I should not even do that, because if the person needs help, they're going to ask you. If they didn't, they don't want your help. Healthy, it allows each other to grow and change. Unhealthy is threatened by this growth and change. So when you're growing, when you're changing your lifestyle, and that I can say, when I was divorced, I started doing coach classes to become a coach. And some stuff I agree, some stuff I don't, but it made me think, and I changed a few things in my life. And I was so scared of the change because I knew some people I would have to leave behind because they will not accept my change. I'll be boring, because that's what I think about some other people that change. We're not true friends, but you have to always appreciate the people that accept you're changing, accept that you're not going to be the same person tomorrow. Healthy relationship, it allows you to be free, while unhealthy relationship threaten you by other people. So you need to have more than one friend. Your spouse could be your friend. Some family members could be friends. And you're going to have your own friends into that relationship. So this friend of mine, she doesn't live here. And every time I go visit her, I'm going to meet her new friends. The same thing when she comes here, she meets my new friends, because we all did our friendship, and it's no jealousies. I don't feel less friends of her because she made new friends. She doesn't feel like I'm a less friends of her because I made my new friends. And of course, if something on the way it's not good, we talk about it, but we never say, hey, so you're liking her more than you like me now? Like, it's jealousy. And if you do not have friends outside your marriage, you better watch out. There might be abusive relationships. So it's good to be friends. Freedom, it's part of good relationship, period, not just friendship. So a healthy relationship, it's nourish and add to your life, while the unhealthy leave you empty and drained. So remember, you have to feed your dog, your cat. You have to feed your relationships too with good stuff, good examples. And sometimes, let's say, you might have to do things that you're not loving about, like You're going to have to go to a restaurant. Like, I hate Indian restaurant, but if my best friends love Indian restaurant, I might go with her and sit down one day and eat Indian food. So it's about giving a little bit, and of course, I'm giving just easy examples of give and take, but it's about looking and stepping sometimes a little outside of your box to nourish the friendship. Next. So, healthy relationship accepts you for who you are and respect your difference. So they don't try to change you. They might give you advice here and there, but they don't force you. If you feel forced to change, to be someone else, or if you feel like they're going to stop loving you because you're acting in a certain way, which is yourself, your true self, maybe you shouldn't be friends. The people that you have to put a mask all the time to hang out, they're not your true friends. It allows you to have feelings, or they would only accept certain feelings. So I feel a lot. Sometimes I think I feel too much, and I talk about my feelings. I have to express or understand them a little bit. I'm a more mental person, so I have to understand my feelings, I guess. So it's okay to feel sad or to dislike something, and you don't have someone judging that, you shouldn't be feeling that way. You should feel safe and secure. So if some betrayed or the person share your secrets to someone else, you might not feel safe to be yourself or to say certain things. So you have to really watch. This can be fixed and you let it go and you trust again, or this cannot be fixed and the chances of truly becoming the best relationship you're going to have with that person not going to exist. Both of people are committed to the friendship. So you have to be 100% in a sense of, I'm doing my best. Not that you're going to be 100% perfect. I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best. And sometimes people think, oh, you have to spend a specific amount of time. No. If you have 5 minutes, it has to be the best 5 minutes with that person. And sometimes we forget that. We think it's about time or quantity, or it is about quality. Majority of things in life is about the quality you put in a small time period. So if you want to do a work, do your best work. If you want to be a friend, be the best friend you can be for the moment. Be there for the person. Not necessarily hang out 24/7. And finally, it's not about power or status. So if you're hanging out with someone because they know someone or they have a lot of money, it's fun. I can't lie. It's fun. It's fun when you have someone that has a boat for you to get in, who knows someone that you get in for free, want to take you to this stuff or pay for that. It's good. But you have to understand that it's the reason you're with that person, not call that a friendship just because. And one thing that was fun about Aristotle's work is the fact that he said that it's okay to have a useful friend if you both know why you both are there. If he knows that you're there because of that fact and the other person knows that this is what I can get back, and it's basically a negotiation of why you guys are together. That's a true friendship because nobody's lying, nobody's hiding anything. They're just there for their own reasons. So friendship are the first relationship in life that we can get freely, that we get to freely choose. So if you think, it's a choice. So nobody's forcing you to be friends with anyone. You do not have to be nice to anyone. You might be polite to say, hi, how are you? But you don't have to pretend. That's us that keep us thinking that we have to. We don't have to. You're not a bad person. You're a worse person if you use someone without them knowing or being, hi. Oh, I can't stand. It's worse that than you just say, I'm not really into talking to you right now or ever. It might be harsh at the beginning, but at least nobody's being betrayed. Nobody is lying to anyone. You're being actually a good friend to say, hey, I don't really like you, and I'm sorry, I don't think we have anything in common. Or if you're a positive person, you can find little things in common and understand that that's what it connects you to. And you might not have a friendship, but you might have some kind of connection, and you can be working on that. And maybe in the future, you guys find each other halfway. So the thing you have to do is, what you have been choosing? Who you have been choosing to spend your time with, since it's a free will to spend time with someone. What kind of people you have surrounding you? Okay, so for the mental state, you have a reduction of stress, anxiety, and depression on the bat. If you look on this pandemic, or a little bit before the pandemic, if you look the world today, what is affecting people? Anxiety, depression. Anxiety, depression. Anxiety, depression. Now it's fun. People just have anxiety. We all do. We all do have our moment of anxiety. The truth is how we cope and how long we spend in the anxiety moment. We all think about the future and think of something bad could happen, or you'll look at the past and make it so pretty that we feel sad that today is not as used to be. But the truth is how long you spend in that time. So it's good to have a friend. A friend's going to bring you to the present. A friend's going to be able to talk to you, or you're going to have someone to vent a little bit and come back to yourself and not be in your head going around things that are not true. You also increase your sense of belonging and purpose, because when someone shows that care about you, you feel like, oh, now I belong to this area. I have a purpose in life, and you're more open to see ways to live. It boosts your happiness. It helps you cope with traumas. And this one I like. It's helping you with problem solving. So when you have a friend, when you don't have friends, and you have to solve everything on your own, your head starts spinning around because you only have yourself to count on. When you have someone that you can call and say, hey, I cannot do this, give me a light or anything, sometimes you don't even have to ask because your mind is free. And you know you have someone to get your back. You have someone that, could help you out if you need. So you don't keep in your head like, oh my God, I need to find a solution. You know you will. And if you don't, someone will help you. So the chances of you having more creativity, more influence to solve your problem is way higher when you have good friends around you. And improve your self-confidence and your self-worth. So again, when you know someone thinks something of you, or when you go into a spiral downhill moment, they can bring you up, and then you feel that, I have at least one person that cares about me, and you don't feel so bad. So the state of depression and anxiety goes away with the fact that you have people to count on, and you don't have to carry the weight of the world in your shoulder. For the physical health, people with no friends or poor quality friends have a higher risk for high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, and premature death. I was scared when I saw this research because it is real. They research literally like in one area, 380,000, 400 something thousand. And I was like, and it was going on and on and on. And I was like, oh my God. And it's all basic to the heart because anxiety. So when you have a problem, the chances of you like, oh my God, I have to fix this, is less when you have a close friend that you can call and release that. So your heart goes back to normal. The high blood pressure, it's all about stress that you might end up having, and when you have someone to share that with, you don't get as much stress. Don't get me wrong, we do get stress here and there. And the premature death. So Holt Lusted estimate that loneliness increased the risk of early death as much as 26%, a risk factor even greater than smoking 20 cigarettes per day. So good friends could help you to live longer, which is good, and make your life happier. So let's think about that. And I didn't put here in the PowerPoints, but we have also a study about wick ties, they call them, like the interactions you have on a line or you have with the store that you go, the small store that you go every time, and they already know you, you know them, your neighbors, that you have small talks. This also helps. So when I moved to Florida, I didn't know much people, and I need to socialize. So my socialization was with small talks around the grocery store. I had a need to talk. With pandemics, too, I was in my house by myself. I need to talk to someone. I need to interact and see people. So whenever you had to go to a store, it's the moment that you look at people and you're like in masks, smiling. They are not seeing, but you're there like trying some kind of connection. And it does help. It's not as good as good friendship, but those small talks help. And the interesting fact is, when you're going to start small talk with someone on the line and stuff, you always go for the deep conversation. Never go to like, oh, the sky's blue, right? Is someone talking politics, and you see that person talking with a friend, and you're like, oh, yeah, that's really crazy. What do you think about this? And you go into that deep spirit of what you think or how life is going for you. Yeah, oh my God, this pandemic is crazy. And you start talking about deep feelings that sometimes you don't even talk with your friends. It's just because it's easier. There's strangers on the street. What are you going to do after that? Nothing. Who they can talk about it. And I was like, oh, Max, they're going to say, oh, that person at the grocery store just said this and that. You don't have that problem coming back to you, so you're more free to say things that you want to say, and sometimes you don't have the courage to. The brain part that I was talking about. So they also did studies that friends found similar brain activities among friends in regions responsible for motivation, reward, identity, and sensory processing. So they basically made it watch videos, clips, and the people that are really close friends end up lighting the same area of the brain. So after that, they did a different research where they analyzed the brain, and they put people together, predicting who are going to end up being friends with who. So it's not just about your spiritual or your energy. It's about how your brain functions also that you create friendship. So your body also helps you to get this together. It helps you to get close to people. So for the spiritual awareness, I try to get a little bit from everything. I don't know if I'm going to say that right. In Sanskrit, thank you. I'm not going to even try to say the other word. Kalyana Mitra means a spiritual friend. So Kalyana may be translated as good, true, virtuous, upright, or beneficial. While Mitra is the root word of Maitri, which means kindness. So Kalyana Mitra, it's someone who helps you realize your deep aspirations, one who uplifts your path to a higher level, or ethical and spiritual well-being. So is that friend that's going to help you not just in this world, but to understand everything else? Go towards the, I would say, faithful way of a higher level, treating you more than just your body, what you do, your qualities, you as a spirit, that person that's going to be there for you in that segment, and it's going to help you growth and evolve in different ways. So you can go one more. So I would also, I love getting parts of the Bible and also from the spirit books. For the Bible, I read this. I'm not into the Bible. I'm not going to say I'm a knowledgeable person of the Bible. But this book I have read, and I didn't notice that they talk about friendship that much. That is Proverbs. So they say one who has unreliable friends soon come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. So your bad friends will take you down at some moment, but you also have the people that you're going to become more than friends. They're going to become your family. I'm just not going to read every one of them. I'm just going to say the main part of it. To love your friends all the time, because at one point, it's going to be born a brother inside your friend. Oil and perfume makes the heart glad, but it's the sweetness of the friends when... Oil and perfume make the heart happy, but what makes a friendship worth is the moment that they can sit down there and be there for you. That gossip will separate good friends. That as fast as you forgive a friend, you're going to maintain them close. If you take forever with a grudge, you're going to end up losing that friend. Do not forsake your friend or a family of friend, because it's better to have someone by you, your neighbor, than a relative that is far. So it's basically telling us about relationship, or do not make friends with a hot-tempered man, because you might become like him. You're going to learn things from him. So it's all like tips of how to have a good friendship. They're there. The teachings are there of how we should behave one another and what we should do or should not do. And of course, it's our choice to do things or not. And sometimes we have a tendency of doing and then learning from what we do that was not good and going from there. On the Spirit book, on the 4:17, can incarnate spirits get together and for assembly while asleep? Definitely. The bond of friendship, old or new, often bring together spirits who are happy to enjoy each other's company. So when you go to sleep, you're going to go meet your friends. Do things with your friends. And 488, do the friends and family who have passed on before us have more sympathy for us than spirits who are a stranger to us? Of course. And they often protect you as a spirit depending on their power. So after here, and during this moment, we have a chance to create bonds. We have a chance to be with people, to create really deep connections. Because after here, that's where we're going to end up going. That's when we're going to end up seeing. That's who we're going to end up helping us, or, giving a good word that we deserve or not deserve something. So how are you managing your friendships? Are you giving enough time? Are you giving quality time while you're getting with them? So when I think about friendship, it affects your whole self, your body, your mind, and your spirit. So how are we dealing with this? We might just take for granted, it would be easy to isolate yourself and knowing you as a whole because you're part of something bigger. But since it's not possible, who are we letting get close to us? Who are we letting change who we are or affect or influence who we are? And also, if you look, your friends could also be a reflection of who you have been all this time. So it's good to look at your friends as an extension of you. Aristotle always said that a good friend is the other selves, which is a dwelling spirit, one soul in a dwelling. One soul in two bodies. So it's the same, extension of you, and that's good. So you should take care of who you get close to you, who you have around you, because that will be the people that after here is still gonna connect to you. So it's not just about here, this moment. It's about the whole journey, who you want to do this journey with. Thank you. Sorry.
Fernanda,
Respect.